so much for being here today. We ask that you take your time finding your seats. There's no rush. Part of the charm of events like this here at Northwestern are the atmosphere and getting to reconnect with friends. I certainly don't want anybody to feel hurried, but thank you. We've got some things to get through today, so I'll kick things off. Good morning. My name is Matt Adair, and I am thrilled to be here today to welcome you to the 2022 and the 2021 recognition luncheon for the inductees of the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. Today, of course, is a special day on campus when we celebrate our traditions and reflect on our athletic heritage. Northwestern is thrilled to honor 5 inductees to the Hall of Fame today. Rangers from the 2021 class, 2 of them, and 3 more from the class of 2022. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to note one person who is not here today. You see, the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame would not be what it is and the institution that it has become without the input and influence of Dean Linder. We lost Judge Linder since the last time we were able to meet in 2020 for this Hall of Fame luncheon, and we will undoubtedly miss him being here today. Dean is the only person to have ever inducted any people into the Ranger Sports Hall of Fame, and while I consider it one of the great honors of my career to have been asked to speak here today, I want to note that while many of us may take this mic in the future, it will all be as fill-ins, because nobody can replace Judge Linder. With that being said, for our nominees today, each of them has represented Northwestern with honor as student athletes and as a coach, and a director and an administrator. But more importantly, each of them has served as an example of what it means to be a Ranger through their service and their contributions. Our university's legacy is better because these people chose to be a part of it. Today we will look back through a treasure trove of decades-long success spanning from the 70s through the 2000s. Without further delay, let's kick off our journey in today's program. The Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame celebration is a collective effort of several different entities, including Northwestern, the Alumni Association, and the Northwestern Foundation, each contributing significantly to the success of this event. And at this time, I'd like to collectively recognize the staff and board members of the Alumni Association and the Foundation by asking them to stand and asking you to join me in giving them our applause. Northwestern Alumni Association and Foundation members, please stand up so we can say thank you. Thank you so much. Education is important to all of us here at Northwestern. So many of you in this room and those of us on campus have dedicated our lives and our careers to the pursuit of education in ourselves and others. And with education in mind, I'd like to also introduce one of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. With us here today, Jane McDermott and her husband Max. Regent McDermott. The honor and the privilege of working each day with some incredibly talented and dedicated individuals who comprise the senior administration at Northwestern. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize them. If you would, please let me announce each of them today before we begin our applause. Starting first with our university president, who will address us later today, Dr. Janet Cunningham and her husband Rick. Also with us today are our executive vice president, Dr. Bo Hannaford, and his wife, Tara. Also here today, our Vice President for Administration, Dr. David Paikey, Mr. Caleb Mossberg, the Dean of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, and Dr. James Bell, Associate Vice President for Academics and Dean of the Faculty. Also Mr. Brad Franz, our Director of Athletics, and Myra Davidson, the Administrative Assistant to the President at Northwestern, and of course Mr. Skeeter Bird, the head of our Northwestern Foundation and Alumni Association. Ladies and gentlemen, your Northwestern Senior Administration. The leadership of our athletic program has never been stronger, and much of that credit has been earned by our athletic director, Mr. Brad Franz. Through his work at Northwestern, he has assembled an outstanding group of coaches. He has strengthened our ties with supporters and fans, and Mr. Franz has served as an advocate and a passionate supporter of our student athletes. At this time, I'm going to invite Coach Franz to come forward and introduce to us our coaches and their staffs, along with our Sports Hall of Fame committee. Ladies and gentlemen, Athletic Director Brad Franz.
On behalf of the Athletic Department and the Hall of Fame Committee, I would like to welcome you to today's 21-22 induction ceremony. As Director of Athletics, I am proud to represent our university, student, athletes, and coaches. Today is a great day as we induct 5 individuals. From the tremendous feats of Bill Jewelson and Dean Farrow on the baseball field, to Brittany Johnson making Bristol Fieldhouse roar, Brandon Christenson running rampant through the OIC on a pro football career, Bob Battisti winning conference titles and making national tournament runs. We have some unbelievable talents here today. I am personally so glad to be inducting Coach Battisti, who brought me to Northwestern 36 years ago and gave me my first job. I came without even a visit to Alva, and what a great decision it was. From all their athletic feats, there is so much to each of these Rangers. These 5 individuals exude and deserve the highest honor bestowed upon them to be in our Hall of Fame. At this time, I would like to introduce the Hall of Fame committee. Would you please rise and hold your applause until they're done. Milburn Barton, former Northwestern basketball coach and athletic director and current Hall of Fame member. Joe Phillips, former Northwestern baseball coach and current Hall of Fame member. John Allen, director of alumni relations. Tim Lauderdale, associate athletic director. And Andrew Santangelo, assistant athletic director for athletic communications. Appreciate all your help. We currently have a great group of current head coaches and athletic administrators who work tirelessly to help our student athletes. Not all are here today due to other athletic commitments, but I would like to introduce them all. Please hold your applause and stand to be recognized. In our athletic administration, Megan Patel, assistant athletic director for compliance and senior women's administrator. Tim Lauderdale, associate athletic director. Andrew Santangelo, assistant athletic director for communications. Keith Ware, head athletic trainer. Matt Walter, football coach. Tasha Dieselhorst, women's basketball. Vinay Patel, men's basketball. Stockton Graves, rodeo. Jill Lancaster, women's track and field and cross country. Ryan Wendrasik, softball. Ryan Bowen, baseball. David Rogers, golf. Alex Spikarski, soccer. And Fred Abishan, volleyball. Thanks very much. From everyone in Northwestern Athletics, I want to thank our senior leadership who you've met already. There is one person who makes it all go, and that is our tireless leader, Dr. President Cunningham. She is the unwavering hand that has guided this institution in so many ways, it is immeasurable. All of you know Dr. Cunningham has announced her retirement. We're going to dearly miss her leadership and her unending support for everyone at this university. I would like to mention some of the athletic transformations that have happened under her leadership. The move from NEI to NCAA Division II, which has transformed Northwestern athletics. The addition of women's volleyball and women's track and field. The Vision for Victory project that raised $2.4 million and funded a new football press box, major football locker room, and new turf field. The renovation and creation of Myers Baseball Field and at Glass Stadium. The conversion of the Armory to the Dunning Center, which is a state-of-the-art complex for baseball, softball, and track. The renovation of Bristol Fieldhouse with a new floor and seating. Enhanced travel to include 3 charter buses for our student athletes and other university travel. The addition of the rodeo sale barn and new 20-stall horse facility. The Jim Booth training room, renovation and expansion, which will begin work this spring. And most recently, the Northwestern Hall of Fame in Bristol Fieldhouse, so generously funded by 4 donors and matched by the university. I hope you'll stop in and see it. Under her leadership, these efforts enhanced Northwestern athletics and allowed us to successfully compete in the Northwestern Great American Conference and beyond. Please join me with a huge round of applause. As you can tell, I'm a little nervous today after 16 years of working for Dr. Cunningham. I'm at a little bit lost for words. I personally want to thank each of you for your support for our programs. Every booster, every dollar, every meal, every donation you make makes a difference in the lives of our student athletes. This past semester, over 475 student athletes had a cumulative GPA of 3.24, which is the highest in many years. Our student athletes are succeeding in the classroom and in competition. Lastly, I would like to congratulate our past Hall of Fame inductees and honor our current inductees Bill Jewelson, Dean Farrow, Brittany McBride, Brandon Christenson, and Bob Battisti. All of these Rangers represent the Northwestern Athletics Hall of Fame and athletics in general. You have all helped pave the way for the success of Ranger Athletics. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Bronze. Before we get to the food portion of our program today, I would like to ask John Allen, our Director of Alumni Relations for the Northwestern Foundation and Alumni Association, to come and offer the blessing on our meal today. John.
Please bow your heads and join me in prayer. Great, great Father, we thank you for this day of sunshine and the day that we can come together and honor 5 individuals who have made a distinct impression on the legacy of Northwestern athletics, as well as 2 of our student athletes who are already making a mark and will leave that mark with great dignity. We ask for abundant blessings on this day of celebration, for reconnection, and for new memories in the making. We pray these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am proud to announce that we have our traditional chicken fried steak lunch buffet prepared for you by Chartwell's, our food service provider here on campus. We've got 2 lines in the back of the room, and at this time I am happy to invite our inductees and their families to lead us through the line. Once we get them going, we'll start at the front of the room and work our way toward the back. All the families, thank you for being here, and please honor us by leading us through the line. Try and stay on time. Each year, the Sports Hall of Fame is generously supported by 3 of our local banks. Each of these financial institutions go above and beyond in their support for Northwestern, our students, and our athletic teams, and we cannot thank them enough. This year's sponsors for the luncheon include Alva State Bank, Bank Central National Association, and of course Community Bank, from all from right here in Alva, Oklahoma. As you patronize these businesses and see the representatives from these institutions today, maybe later at the game, or even in the future, please take a moment to thank them for their support of Northwestern and the Sports Hall of Fame. It seems hard to believe that Northwestern's president, Dr. Janet Cunningham, is serving in her final year in that role. Her tenure has been an unprecedented success and a commitment to the athletic excellence and improvement of the experience for every student athlete that steps foot on campus. It began with her launching the Vision for Victory campaign for athletics, a campaign that has transformed both our football and baseball stadiums, that really set a tone for a myriad of improvements that we've made since then, a lot of them mentioned by Coach Straughns earlier today. Renovations for both the field house, the locker rooms, improvement for facilities for rodeo and training, including soccer and softball, and of course the Dunning Performance Center added to Northwestern's list of incredible facilities, all built under the supervision of Dr. Janet Cunningham. With her support, many of these accomplishments have been privately supported. And ladies and gentlemen, in today's world, that doesn't just happen. It happens when you have a president who is both engaged and trusted in the community that she represents. Perhaps more importantly, President Cunningham is a true Ranger fan, and just like our student athletes, she cherishes the victories that we earn on the field and court, and she really does hate to lose. Our student athletes and our students in general have no greater supporter than Dr. Janet Cunningham, and it is my honor to ask her to come and talk to us here today, ladies and gentlemen, the President of Northwestern, Dr. Janet Cunningham.
Well, you guys are killing me. And people are probably tired of hearing about me and would like to hear about these 5 honorees for sure. We are excited to be able to honor our 2 classes of inductees today. Congratulations to them and to their families. Today we honor your accomplishments not only as a Ranger athlete, but in your professional life as well. Athletics really does play a very important role in the life of Northwestern. Provides pathways for our student athletes to earn a college degree, but it provides student life in a community that is pretty small, and sometimes we lack a little there as far as malls and things like that, but we always have our competitions, our competitive events. Our student athletes put in an incredible amount of hours on the field, during practice, and yes, in the classroom. Our athletic teams have great leadership through the coaching staff who shares the vision of a successful student athlete in competition and in academics. As we continue our membership in the NCAA Division II and the Great American Conference, our coaches have expectations for postseason competition where our teams compete for conference championships. Our coaching staff within every sport is committed to seeing their athletes perform at their best. In fact, we had 2 individuals named GAC Coach of the Year in their last seasons. Alex Piakarski in women's soccer. Congratulations, Coach. And Ryan Bowen in baseball. Ryan was also named the Oklahoma Baseball Coaches Association Coach of the Year. And Stockton Graves, rodeo coach, competed himself at the National Finals Rodeo and was ranked in the top 10 for steer wrestling. So our coaches are at the top of their fields. Last year was not an easy year for athletics or anything else really. Our sports teams saw many struggles due to the pandemic. Getting recruited to play a sport and not being able to play is mentally taxing. Our teams managed to continue practicing and remain positive through these difficult times, and we were ecstatic to know our teams have mostly had normal seasons for this academic year. With all the struggles we've been through, our students have continued to excel in the classroom, and I appreciate their dedication. That both the athletes and the coaches have put in during this pandemic. It has truly been a university-wide effort to remain as normal as possible at this university for our students, and I think we've done a really good job. I would also like to acknowledge many in this room for your continued support of our athletic programs, for your time, your financial support, and your cheers for these teams. Many of our athletic accomplishments would not have been possible without your generosity. Who would have thought that we'd have a football field and a baseball field that are probably the envy of a lot of teams in the GAC. And our gym is still one of the toughest places to play, right, Coach Battisti? So on behalf of our student athletes and coaches and all of Northwestern, let me say thank you. We have the best fans and supporters in America. Once again, congratulations to our 5 inductees and welcome to the most exclusive of clubs, the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you, and Ride Rangers Ride.
Thank you so much, President Cunningham. At this time, I'd like to invite Brad Franz back to the podium to come and present the recipient of our Hall of Fame Scholarship.
The Northwestern Hall of Fame Scholarship was established in 1999 by Dr. Randy Smith and his wife Mitzi, who are here today. Dr. Smith received his bachelor's degree from Northwestern in 1975 and was a member of the Ranger baseball team. He later became Northwestern's baseball coach and athletic director. Northwestern inducted the first class in 1993. This scholarship honors a Northwestern student athlete who exhibits the highest levels of character, integrity, athletic, and academic performance. It continues the spirit of those people who built a tradition of excellence for Ranger athletics. We have 2 this year. This year we honor 2 recipients due to not having the ceremony last year. The 2021 recipient is Miss Bailey Brown. Bailey is a senior on the Northwestern women's basketball team from Enid, Oklahoma. Bailey is a 4-year starter and all-league performer who holds multiple records for women's basketball. Will lead the program in the top 5 scorers and the top 2 rebounders in history. Bailey is also a premier scholar holding a 3.0 GPA, 3.9 GPA, and making the President Honor Roll many times. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in biology and is pursuing a secondary education degree now. She will enter medical school upon completion of this year. Bailey is accompanied by her dad and stepmom, Mr. and Mrs. Travis Brown, and her mother, Mrs. Cindy Brown. Please stand. Bailey cannot be here today as she's getting ready to take on East Central, but her dad, Travis Brown, will accept from one. Recipient is Miss Tara Parks. Tara is a senior on the Northwestern women's volleyball team. Tara is a captain starter on the very successful Lady Rangers. Tara is also a premier scholar, holding a 3.92 GPA. She's from Wichita, Kansas. Tara finished her Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration and will be returning next year to work on her master's degree. Tara is accompanied by her dad and stepmom, Mr. and Mrs. Terry Parks, and is also accompanied by her mom, Mrs. Cammy Parks. Tara, would you please step forward to accept your award?
Thank you, Coach Franz, and again, congratulations to our award recipients. We're going to move on to one more segment of the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame ceremony this afternoon. The Sports Hall of Fame was created in 1992 and inducted its inaugural class in 1993. Prior to today, 103 Ranger greats and 1 team have been awarded the highest athletic honor given by Northwestern. Today, we're fortunate that a number of those Hall of Famers have returned to campus to take part in today's event, and I'd like to recognize them and ask them to stand and wave. If you will hold your applause until we've completed this, and hopefully this is one of those times where I can actually get everybody that's here. If I do miss somebody, please let us know. We always like to recognize you when you're here back on campus. So let's give it a try. The Foundation Office did a phenomenal job and has supplied me with this list of people who have RSVP'd or been spotted here today. From the class of 1993, inductee Lloyd Stout. From the class of 1994, Stuart Arthurs. From the class of 1995, Paula Stout Crandall. From the class of 1996, H.L. Brown, who's actually going to be represented today by Herbert and James Shawnee. Thank you, guys. Jim Schrader from the class of 2001. Milburn Barton from the class of 2004. Dr. Randy Smith from the class of 2005. Reggie Clark also from the 2005 class. We've got several representatives from the national champion football team of 1999 here with us today. Any of you from the 99 team, if you would stand, we'd like to recognize you as well. I know Coach Walter, Travis Fox, Willie Spears are all here, and of course, Brandon Christenson, representatives of our 1999 team, the only team inducted into the Hall of Fame. From the 2011 class, unfortunately, I don't think he's here, but Stockton Graves was going to try and make it in. From the class of 2008, Mr. Willie Tennyson is here with us today. From the class of 2015, Fred Schamberg. From the class of 2016, Coach Joe Phillips. Also from the 2016 class, Coach and Dr. Steve Lohman. From the 2017 class, Lee Brower. From the 2018 class, Coach and Dr. Chandler Mead. From the 2019 class, Ryan Hintergart. And from the class of 2020, Coach Steve Gale. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our former Hall of Famers. Now the worst part of the whole event, who did I miss? Mike Perkins. Mike, right in front of me too. Sorry, Mike. Welcome back, Mike. Thank you for being here. Always such an honor to have any of you from the Hall of Fame back with us to take part in the festivities each and every year. Rangers, it's now time to present the 2021 and 2022 classes from the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. We will introduce each one of our inductees and let them individually come up here and hopefully speak to you about their experience and their journey as Rangers. Upon all five being inducted into the Hall of Fame, I would ask that each of you come forward for picture taking together here with your Ranger plaque, and we will then reconvene and do the official induction into the Sports Hall of Fame at halftime of the men's game in Percival Fieldhouse. With that, on with the ceremony. Our first inductee is Dino Farrow. Dean graduated from Northwestern in 1981 after 4 impressive seasons as a Ranger baseball player. Dean played second base and also pitched for the Rangers. He played in 183 games at 584 at-bats. Dino finished his career batting .344 and scored 56 runs, hit 37 doubles, 12 triples, and 19 home runs. Farrow sets in the top 10 of multiple Ranger records, including total at-bats, games played, hits, RBIs, doubles, and he holds the records for most triples hit in a career at 12, a record still unbroken to today. He continues to hold the record for most triples in a season with 7. Dean was named All-Conference Honorable Mention from 1977 through 1981, and after graduating from Northwestern, his career spanned several opportunities and multiple years here in the great state of Oklahoma. Today, Dean and his wife, Carrie, own and operate Gloria's Kitchen, a restaurant in Hinton, Oklahoma. The couple have 3 children, Dalen, Brianna, and Marley. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hall of Famer Dean Farrow.
attendance today. A special thanks to my good friend Mike Perkins and the Hall of Fame committee. Coming to Northwestern was one of the best decisions in my life. I'd already made up my mind to go play somewhere else, but after meeting Coach Perkins and visiting him for less than 5 minutes, I changed my mind just coming here. I loved everything about being a Ranger. I had some great teammates that were a lot like me, and all we wanted to do is play ball. I can still hear Coach saying, "Attaboy." Thank you all. Ride Ranger Drive.
Thank you and congratulations, Dean. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Our next inductee is known for his power and aggressiveness on the football field and for being one of the best teammates to have ever worn the red and black. Brandon B.C. Christensen played for the Rangers for 5 seasons from 1995 to 2001. Brandon was a member of the 1999 National Championship team where he played tight end and punter. Christensen earned NAIA Second Team All-American honors as part of that national championship team where he caught Northwestern's first touchdown of the game. He led the team in receiving yards and was a captain for the Rangers that season. Holding a top 10 place in many school records, BC played in all 44 games in his 5 seasons as a Ranger. He was ranked 10th in reception yards, 4th in receiving touchdown, 5th in yards per catch at his position as tight end, and as a punter he was 4th in total punt yards and 9th in average yards per punt. After graduating in December of 2001, he played tight end in the NFL for 3 different teams, including the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Oakland Raiders. He saw time in the AFC Championship game with the Raiders against the Tennessee Titans in the 2002-03 season. Following his career in the NFL, Brandon entered the business world and currently works for Champion Medical LLC, a medical device sales company. Brandon also established the Rams Riley Andrew Memorial Scholarship Foundation, its mission to provide athletic equipment and scholarships to youth athletic programs. It's helped more than 100 young people since its inception. BC and his wife Kayla currently reside in Edmond, Oklahoma with their 3 children, Caden Kale and Brody. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Northwestern Sports Hall of Famer, Brandon Christenson.
I first want to thank Dean Farrow for, he gave me 6 of his minutes. So, last year, November 13th, we celebrated the 25th anniversary of our 96 team. And we got to come back and hug and all that kind of stuff. But Coach Matt had me talk to some recruits. So I'm in this room, and I've got these 25 recruits. And I told them, I said, listen, your individual goals, they can all be met here. You can be an All-American, you can be an All-Conference player, you can win a conference, you can win a national championship, you can play at the next level. And I'm proving that. I said, what makes this place extra special is that you're part of something bigger than yourself. You're part of a family. And today, I'm just very thankful to be surrounded by my Ranger family today. It says, pause for applause. So. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee, Dr. Cunningham, Coach Franz, the other inductees. I look forward to hearing more about your careers. It's awesome. When Coach Franz called and told me, I was very excited, but the first question I asked is, who am I going in with? And he told me Coach Battisti. And my face lit up like a Christmas tree. One of my fondest memories here at college was sitting behind the bench and listening to Coach Battisti. And it was some of my funnest times. And out of respect for Coach Battisti, I'm not going to do an impression of him. But I can tell you that my kids have heard the following. Jiminy Christ! first NFL team, I was in Jacksonville, and we had regional scouts back then because they didn't have the internet. It was barely working at that time. And so the regional scouts had to come out and find you. Well, I was in Jacksonville. It's probably the second week of training camp. And the regional scout came up to me and he said, you know what? He goes, you know the reason why we signed you? I said, I'm talented, but why? And he goes, you're a basketball coach. He sat down with him for 30 minutes and he told me that. I'm just very thankful for you, Coach. I love you. Thank you. I'd like to thank my family. Got my mom here. Mom, I appreciate all the sacrifices you made for us. I love you. I got my 3 boys here, Caden, Kel, and Brody. It's just an honor to stand up here and for you guys to see this because I'm just really proud of you for love being your dad. It's my favorite job. I'd like to thank my mom, Donna Christensen. We've had a tough year, but she always has the right things to say. And I love her too, so I wish she was here. I'd like to thank my sisters, Carrie and Alyssa. I'd like to thank my brother, Corey. My brother was 15 months younger than me, so he was my first opponent. And he got his tail whipped a lot. But he made me better, and he did. I really love him, and I appreciate him too. Thank my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. All right, well, now I can survive the car ride home because I recognize all my family. So, I grew up in Clinton, Oklahoma. I showed up on campus here. I played for a legendary coach at Clinton. He's a Hall of Famer, Mike Lee. I learned a lot of football from Coach Lee. When I showed up on campus here, I was 6'5", 180 pounds, and I ran a 5'2", 40. For you guys that don't know, that means you're tall, skinny, and slim. The first things I saw when I walked in the door was an acronym, and it was MTXE. I'd never heard it before. I didn't know what it meant. But I learned real fast what it meant. It meant mental toughness, extra effort. And that mental toughness has helped me throughout the rest of my life. And I learned it right here. There was also, when I showed up, there was a lot of work to do. They had one night here before I got here. We were the largest recruiting class, and we turned this thing around. I was just so proud to be a part of that 96 championship team and that 99 national championship team. I was lucky enough to be right in the middle of it. So when you're 6'5" and you're 180 pounds and you're slow, you get beat up a lot. I just want to recognize some guys that used to beat the tar out of me. Throwing McQueen, Sam Joseph, Jason Cecil, Eddie Scott, Ryan Rose, they all took turns. It's never a good sign when you're in individual drills and there's a line and they're all trying to match up so they can get that tall, skinny kid from Clinton to fight him. Make sure he gets to go up against him. That's not good. Coach Hanford, Coach Higgins, Coach Alvin, all had a Coach Slaughter, saw Coach Meade. Coach Meade had one of the best defenses every year in and year out. That was the motivation for me. I'm like, if I can catch balls on these guys, I can catch balls on anyone. So, Coach Meade, thank you. I'm one of the few to get to do 2 speeches. I don't know how many people in the history of Northwestern have been able to give 2 Hall of Fame speeches. This is my second one. You think I'd be better prepared. National championship team. I see some of my guys here. Willie Spears is here. Matt Walter, Travis Fox. Just telling you, I love seeing you guys. You guys are like brothers. It's just really fun to see. That team was special. What people didn't see was behind the scenes. We woke up every morning at 5:45 and started running. We went to the tier, we ran those tiers every morning at 5:30 runs. And you guys, it's cold, right? So we did a lot of those runs in the cold. But it made us tougher and we were part of something special. One of my best buddies is here, Travis Fox. Buddy, I love you. One of the best friends I've ever had. Fox kind of took over the role. He was a GA, and he was a self-appointed tight ends coach my senior year. Didn't pay much. I think it was just a 6-pack of beer. But, Travis took that role, and he was one of the best at it. I teased Fox because back then you had to make a VHS tape and send them off to NFL teams. Okay. Well, I told Fox, I said, hell, bud, some of my best catches was when I was a punter and you were the long snapper. they slowly started doing Adopt a Ranger, but they adopted me. And boy, did I get lucky, because I got one of the best families to be my away from home family. And Randy, Taylor, I love you guys. One of my best stories was in 2001, I wasn't on a football team, and I didn't know what was going to happen in my life. And we were out playing catch. I think it's about this time of the year. I think the Super Bowl was on. And I made a comment. I said, well, if I ever make it to the Super Bowl, you boys got tickets. And we kind of laughed about it because I wasn't even on a team. Well, lo and behold, 2 years later, we went to that Super Bowl and they got their 2 Super Bowl tickets. So, thank you guys. Love you. Well, the last person I kind of saved means a lot to me. It's Coach Steve Owen. Coach, I appreciate you so much. I don't know why, but whenever he walked into a team meeting, we'd be sitting here just like this. There's 100 of us. And he always came in the room, I read it, and then he would go into his speech. He always paid special attention to me. I don't know why. I'll have to ask him one day when we're golfing. But I truly appreciate you, Coach. I've interviewed for jobs. He's a reference. I got my first medical advice job. My boss told me, he goes, man, I talked to your college coach for about an hour. I love that guy. So, Coach Logan, you had no idea how much you mean to me. I'd like to do one more thing. I lost my dad 2 months ago. He was my #1 fan. And so if we could just bow our heads in a moment of silence, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. My dad was always there. Like I said, he's my biggest fan. Can't replace a dad, but we talked about, November 13th, I'm talking to those recruits. I said, you get to be a part of something bigger than yourself. You get to be a part of a family. That was November 13th. My dad died in a motorcycle accident 1 week later. Exactly 1 week. When I tell you I'm a part of this Ranger family, I got a handwritten letter from Dr. Cunningham. I got endless amounts of phone calls from Coach Sloan, Coach Meade, Coach Hanford. Coach Alvin was playing the very next day. Coach Alvin called and we talked for 25 minutes. That's not normal. I hadn't played for those guys for 20 years. But they called me and made sure I was doing okay. That's what a family is. I'm so proud of this moment. I'm proud to be a part of the Ranger family. Right Rangers right.
Congratulations, Brandon, and welcome to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. Wow. Our next inductee is a women's basketball alum. Brittany McBride Johnson graduated from Northwestern in 2007 with a bachelor's degree in health and physical education. She continued her scholastic career and earned a master's degree in education from Northwestern in 2010. Brittany played for the Lady Rangers from 2005 to 2007 and set numerous school records. Her career scoring average, 17.7 points per game, which is tied for the second most in Ranger history. Johnson made 266 career free throws, placing her in the Northwestern top 10 for free throws. She finished her career with 1,007 total points. And Brittany is one of 13 Lady Rangers to become a member of the 1,000-point club. She was named NAIA Honorable Mention All-American in 2005 and 2006, along with second team All-Conference in the Sooner Athletic Conference. She also earned the 05-06 Newcomer of the Year award. Brittany's major career highlights include scoring 38 points in a single game versus Wayland Baptist University and scoring 37 points against our rival Langston. After graduation from Northwestern, Brittany was the girls' assistant coach at Elgin, Oklahoma from 2011 to 2013. Brittany and her husband Van currently reside in Balco, Oklahoma, where she is the head girls basketball coach, head girls and boys cross-country coach, and the head track coach for Balco Public Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hall of Famer Brittany Johnson.
To begin, I would like to say thank you to the Alumni Association and to the Hall of Fame Committee for this great honor. I can't begin to express what it means to me to be standing here today receiving this honor. Not to mention I'm a woman of few words, so that is going to be challenging. Thank you to Dr. Cunningham and the Northwestern community. You have all played such a significant role in my time at Northwestern, and I am confident it's a special thing to be a part of this family and to call this university home. Being a Lady Ranger and having the opportunity to play in Percival Fieldhouse was extremely meaningful to me. As a child, my parents would bring me to games, and I still remember and watching in all the Lady Ranger greats like Donita Dre, Alice Bird, and Corinne Hall. This university has always been special. This speech would be incomplete if I didn't recognize some of the people who have supported me throughout my basketball career. I can guarantee I wouldn't be who I am without them. To my parents, Marty and Colette, thank you for your unwavering love and support, for teaching me how to play and love the game, for the countless hours of driving to games, sitting through and coaching practices, and holding me up when I needed to. I am so thankful to have you in my corner. To my siblings, Beth, Bailey, and Caleb, thank you for showing up, yelling at the refs, and never tired of sharing the gym with me. I love you guys. To my husband, Van, thanks for always supporting me and believing in me. I am thankful to share this day with you. To my grandparents, Ken, Marilyn, Max, and Braden, the number of miles traveled to games across this state surpasses the thousands. I am so thankful for your support and believe that I always played well, even if I didn't. Especially my grandma Rita. This honor was one she had always hoped I would receive. I wish she could be here today for this, but I will forever be grateful if she knew of this induction before she passed. I would like to thank Coach Barton for giving me the opportunity to play at Northwestern. Your consistent belief and confidence in me as a player meant more to me than you know. I am thankful to have been able to play for you. And to Coach Ham, thank you for recruiting me and your constant drive and motivation that was so contagious. Thank you for sharing your love of the game through your coaching. I don't think I could adequately express what it meant to be a Lady Ranger, to wear the red and black, to run out to ride Ranger's Drive, and to play in front of this great Ranger community. There is nothing like it, and I greatly cherish my time here. I am so thankful for my teammates who played alongside of me. There's a few back there that made the long trip, so thank you guys. They have also been some of the funniest people alive. We've had our challenges on the court, but the fun we had off the court was unparalleled. I would share some of those stories, but I'm afraid none are appropriate for this type of event. I know many have said it before, but it stands true to mention again. Northwestern is a special place. This Ranger family is like none other, and I will forever be grateful for my time as a Lady Ranger. My years at this school and on the court are among my most cherished. Thank you again for this honor, and forever ride Ranger's Drive.
Thank you and congratulations. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Playing for the Rangers. From 1999 to 2001, Bill Jewelson left his mark on the Ranger baseball program. A native of Wisconsin, Bill transferred to Northwestern Oklahoma State University from Hill College in Hillsboro, Texas. Bill played pitcher and catcher for the Rangers. Bill earned first-team all-conference honors in both his junior and senior seasons. He was also named to the NAIA first-team All-Americans as a senior for Northwestern. As a catcher, he led the nation in throwing out runners as he gunned down an incredible 72%, an absolutely unprecedented stat. He also pitched for Northwestern, where in the 2000 season, he had the 10th most saves in a single season. He sets in the top 10 of many Ranger records. He ranks number 1 in RBIs and first in total doubles in a season with 22. He finished the 2001 season setting 9th in the hitting category with 75 hits, and he also ranked 6th in home runs in a single season with 17. In his career, Jewelson had a batting average of .389, ranking 5th in the Ranger history books. Following his time at Northwestern, Bill entered the world of business and currently works for Pepsi. Bill resides in Somerset, Wisconsin, with his wife Angela and their 4 children, Calvin, Chloe, Cashton, and Kyle. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hall of Famer Bill Jewelson.
Coach Phillips, not freezing yet, so I went right away. Thank you to the president and all the board for putting this on and inducting me. It's the most humbling experience I've ever had in my life. Full of people like this. Brandon Christenson, but thank you all for that. That is absolutely, truly an honor to me to be up here. Obviously, I have to thank my parents. They couldn't make the trip. A lot of people didn't make the trip from my side. Live in Wisconsin, it's kind of hard to get down here. I knew right away I was going to make it when Coach called me. I said, I have to come down here. It's been 20 years since I've been back here. It's changed a little bit, but there's a lot of same faces I still see. Over Martin back there, I can remember sitting in his office a few times with Coach Phillips. It's absolutely amazing to be back here. And yes, baseball players are very, very nice. Oh, my phone doesn't die. Obviously, first people I like to thank is my parents. The sacrifices they made and all the countless hours of sitting in the hot sun in the baseball fields, traveling to all different baseball games, and just the countless hours and money they put into me. I would be nothing without them, so I want to thank them first off. To my wife, Angela, who's going to be here. She's actually traveling to 3 different hockey games this weekend, state playdowns. If she wouldn't take the time off of work, there's no way I would have actually been able to make the trip out here. So I want to thank her and my son, obviously, for coming down with me. It's a long drive, 11 and a half hours in one day. It's a little long, but thanks for driving with me. The next person I really want to thank is, he couldn't make the trip today, he got snowed in. Matt Trammell. I was at Hillsborough Junior College in Texas, had no idea what I was going to do. I played my second year there, didn't really have anything going, and my phone rings. I don't know if anybody really, I know a lot of people know Matt Trammell here, but the phone rings and I pick it up. Bill Jewelson. You know where Alamo is? I said, no. So that's where you're going to spend your next 2 years at Northwestern Oklahoma State. And right then and there, I just was like, okay. I kind of got right there. It was absolutely amazing from the time I got down here. He just took me right in. When I came back to my senior season, I'd actually lost my apartment. And he actually let me stay with him for a couple of weeks until I got my apartment set up, ready to go. He was instrumental in getting me here. The next person is Coach Phillips. I mean, I've played under many coaches, but none like Coach Phillips. To say he's a little different, but man, the guy knew what he's doing. Had different ways of going about it. He pulled me aside a couple games and said, Bill, would you just pull your head out of here? And I knew. I didn't have to finish sentence. I knew. He really had his own coaching style. I do have to tell this story because I don't know many people know it. We went 59-12 my senior season. The one thing he did during fall, we played crap Kansas, and we just played. Just out there having fun playing. Did some good things here, good things there. He wasn't happy. He came done, we got done, we ended up losing. And we got done, he says, you know what, guys, it's 6:30, why don't you get something to eat? Get back here at 7. I knew right then, I wasn't going to eat anything. I'm going to stay right here, I know what's about to happen. We ran. Indian runs, we ran everything. The hills on the side, I mean, we were running. But it was because of that, we just knew we never wanted to run again. We wanted to play our hearts out for him. And I really thank you for all that. Coming down here to Northwestern, from Hill Junior College, a kid from Wisconsin didn't have family here. And you feel alone. But the minute I got here at Northwestern, I wasn't alone. From Trammell, Coach Phillips' wife, took me in a few times, had stuff going on in my house, I'd go out there, no problems. People were always there for me. And that's what it meant to me to be a Ranger. And I'll forever be grateful for that. So thank you guys very much, and thank you for giving us this. Right, Rangers, right.
Bill, what a career. Congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Fame. Last but not least, former Ranger head basketball coach Bob Battisti is one of the most decorated individuals to have ever been inducted into the Northwestern Oklahoma State University Sports Hall of Fame. Coach Battisti took over the men's program in 1986 and began his 21-year coaching tenure with the Rangers. His teams were known for their aggressiveness, their hard work, and their tenacious defense. Coach Battisti accumulated a 374 and 265 Ranger record and has also accumulated 469 collegiate wins in his basketball coaching career. From 1988 to 1996, the Rangers successfully finished their seasons in the top 2 of the Oklahoma Intercollegiate Conference. This included 4 OIC titles and 5 runner-up finishes for Battisti and his teams. The Rangers earned many honors under Coach Battisti's leadership, including being ranked in the NAIA Top 25 7 different times, earning 6 conference titles, and in 2007, the Rangers made it to the quarterfinals of the national tournament. Coach Battisti's best season at Northwestern was the 92-93 season when the Rangers entered the national tournament with a 29-2 record and a number 2 overall national ranking. He collected 5 Conference Coach of the Year awards before being named NAIA's Coach of the Year in 1994 by national magazine Basketball Times. Bob stepped down as the Rangers head coach in 2007, and for the next 4 years, he remained a part of the Ranger family as the university's athletic director. As AD, Coach Battisti began Northwestern's efforts to seek membership into the NCAA's Division II. He was also the founder of the Vision for Victory fundraising campaign, which amassed $2.4 million to help with facility improvements. He was given the opportunity here at Northwestern after working 2 years with the University of Minnesota as an assistant alongside NBA player and coach Flip Saunders. Following his time here at Northwestern, Coach Battisti continued his love of basketball, coaching at Oklahoma Christian University as the head coach, coaching at Oklahoma Christian University, and then as the head coach at Southwestern Oklahoma University, Mid-American Christian University, and the University of Central Oklahoma. Coach Battisti currently resides in Oklahoma City. He and his wife Shelley have 2 sons, Cooper and Levi, and a daughter Tisha. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame, Ranger great basketball coach, Bob Battisti.
Tougher than I think, and it's probably correct. It's really an honor, and it's really a privilege to be here. I want to do something a little different. Where's our mic out? Okay, we are going to stand up. Oklahoma State has Ride 'em Cowboy. OU has Boomer Sooner. And we have Ride Rangers Ride. So I want to lead the school song. If everyone would stand up. You got the jingle? No? Okay, here we go. Ride, ride, ride. Here we go. I want to introduce some of my family here. We got my brother and sister-in-law Kelly and Kelly Thiesing and their daughter Jensen. My stepson Levi, his wife Chelsea and their sons Cash and Tripp. My stepdaughter Tisha. And my son is here. I've got to say this about Coop. I was really hard on Coop. In a lot of ways I was mean at times. And through all the toughness, Coop always had my back. And Coop, I'll always have your back through your life. And every coach says they've got the best coach's wife. Every coach says it. Well, in my mind, I did. Let me tell you a couple stories about Shelly. I came home one night after a game, and we'd won the game. And she was in bed watching TV, and like most couples, you don't watch TV before you go to sleep. And she was really dozed off. So I reached under the covers, and I rubbed to the right. And she said, ooh. And then I rubbed to the left. She said, ah. And then I reached down the center, and I grabbed it. And she sat up a couple seconds later and said, ooh, honey, why did you stop? I said, because I found the remote. Let me share with you a true story. Let me share with you a true story about Shelly. I did come home one night after a loss. And I get on the phone with my assistant, and I said, you know something? We're not tough enough. We don't play hard enough. We're a little soft. We don't shoot the ball well enough. I just don't know how we're going to win a lot of games in this Oklahoma Intercollegiate Conference. I hang up. Shelly walks in the living room. She said, now let me tell you what I think. True story. She said, your team is tough. She said, your team fought their rear ends off. She said, the shots didn't go in, but because they kept fighting, you had a chance to win. She said, you need to be proud of those boys, and you need to tell them that. So I go to practice the next day, and I used her script. I said, guys, the shots didn't fall. But even at that, we had a chance to win because you guys fought like none other. And you guys are so tough. And if you keep that toughness up through this conference, we will win a lot of games. I'm really proud of you, and I'm proud to be your coach. True story. We won 7 games in a row. Shelly, thank you for making me a better coach. You know, to get elected or invited to this Hall of Fame, you got to be really, really good. You know, I look at Bill and Britt, Brandon, Dean, and there's a lot of Hall of Fame members in the audience. They were really, really good. Or you've got to be really, really lucky. You're looking at lucky. You know, I was lucky in 1986. Dr. Joe Struckel, God bless Dr. Struckel, took a chance on a 29-year-old kid. I was lucky for the next 21 years as a coach to work with great presidential leadership. And none any finer than our current president, Dr. Cunningham. She supported me all the way. She supported our team, and she had an unwavering support for our athletic programs. Dr. Cunningham, you will be missed. Thank you. I was lucky I got to coach in a community like Alva. Alva is with you, win or lose. Alva has the most genuine, real people that I've ever been a part of. Very, very lucky that I got to spend 25 years in this community. Thank you, Alva. You know, I was lucky that I got to coach with a faculty and staff, and I don't know where the Case sisters are, the best, the best. Thank you. I was in home recruiting, and a mother looked at me and said, if my son signs, he's not a very good math student. He's going to need help. What is your tutors like? I said, we've got the best tutors in the United States. I never batted an eye. I said, if your son truly wants to pass algebra, if he goes in before class, after class, during office hours, our tutors are our teachers. Your son will not fail. They will not let him fail if he truly wants to pass. You know, I was lucky. I got to coach with friends. I got to coach. I went to work. It didn't even seem like I was at work. It was enjoyment. It was play hour. I loved the time I spent with some of my friends. I don't want to miss anyone, but I've seen a lot of them coming in. Steve Lohman, Steve Gale, Fred Slaughter, Chandler Meade, Steve Barrow, still the only coach to win a Sooner Athletic Conference Championship, 2004 women's soccer. Where are you at, Coach Barrows? The first sports information director I worked with, Terry Wynn, Justin Tinder, Dan Hayes made a surprise visit. I spent 2 years with Coach Hayes, and that's all you know. He was a tremendous coach here. Won a conference championship. Spent 2 years with Coach Hayes at Oklahoma Christian. 2 of the most enjoyable years of my life. Coach Hayes, thank you for being here. I worked with a guy like Cody Hooper. Cody's one of the lost shots. I don't know much about coaching. Trust me. I'd go watch his teams play. They ran on the field. They ran off the field. Even when they lost, you thought they won. Cody, thank you for being a friend. Joe Phillips. Joe taught me what it is to be a Ranger. I don't know of anyone that supported the athletes and the teams as genuine as Joe did. Joe, thank you for all your support. I've got a couple stories. I was lucky to have great assistants. Brad, as he said earlier, was my first assistant. Nobody better. Our first year, we're 1-10. You'll remember this. We're 1-10. We're playing Oklahoma Baptist, game before Christmas. And I'm thinking, can we hang around? And the stars aligned. The tea leaves were right that game. We're up 5 points. There's 40 seconds to go. Then we turn it over. We miss a 1-1. We turn it over. We miss a 1-1. They miss the last second shot. We win by 1. We survive. by 1 point. I go in the locker room. I said, guys, I'm happy we won. But you don't end games like that. If you're going to win a championship, you have to be much more solid in the last 2 minutes. So although I'm happy for you guys, it's an empty happiness. True story. Brad said, Coach, can I say something? Sure, Coach. He goes, guys, I'm the happiest 2-10 coach in the United States. He said, I'm proud of you guys. Great win. Great win. Coach Franz remembers that. So I had a habit. I would take our guys or my assistants out for lunch the next day. We go out to lunch at Lazy J.A. Steak Brand. Some of you remember that. And Brad is crossing the T's, dotting the I's. He's looking at our schedules, writing on a napkin. I finally said, Coach, what are you doing? He said, I'm trying to figure out how we're going to keep from losing 20 games. And then I was so lucky to start under a guy like Randy Smith. You know, I will say this is going to embarrass him. If they painted a mural of Ranger Athletics, they'd have a little picture of me and a little picture of all our other coaches and a lot of our athletes. They'd have some championship trophies. The biggest figure on that mural would be Randy Smith. He's the godfather of Ranger Athletics. Thank you, Coach Smith. Or let you get by without a quick story. And it's not the one you think I'm going to tell. First year, Cameron University, we opened in a 3-day classic. We got the 4 o'clock Thursday game. And Brad's my assistant. I said, you know, I think we'll drive down and stop in Enid, eat pre-game meal, go on, check into the hotel around 2-ish and get to the game. Brad said, yeah, we didn't know the geography. We were from Minnesota. But I said, let me check with Coach Smith. So I go in his office. I said, Coach, here's our plan for tomorrow. I said, we're going to stop and eat it. I don't think it's that far out of the way. Eat a pregame meal, and then get on the lot. He said, well, let me explain something to you. So he said, sit down, Coach. I sit down. He said, all of our coaches, their pregame meals are sack lunches. I thought he was kidding. And he said, oh yeah, the turkey and ham are both good. They'll put cheese on it. They'll give you a bag of chips, a soda pop. And I realized there's no punchline. He's telling me the truth. So we eat sack lunches for my first 3 years. And where's David? Don't get any ideas, David. This is a different time. This is a different time. So we eat sack lunches. And my second year, Milburn clued me in. He said, Bob, the kids will get sick of turkey and ham. They'll make you peanut butter and jelly sandwiches too. But I wouldn't trade it. I would trade nothing, no part of it. And now finally Milburn. You know, what a great guy to coach with. The first couple years I sat there and watched his practices. And I was really watching his practice to steal some of his plays. I mean, Milburn is honestly a real coach. He's a ball coach. I remember we played at Northwestern. And we're in Tahlequah, and we're either tied for first or we're a game ahead. He had a big game too. They're about a game behind. It's late in the season. And I'd always get there early. And Willie and Shane would know that. We got there early and supported the girls, and the girls never left. They never left our game till the buzzer sounded. I mean, that's the support we had for each other. So we get to the game, and I'm always sitting on the bench because I like to see Milburn work the officials. So I'm sitting on the end of the bench, and halftime they're down 5 or 6. Milburn comes up to me, he said, Sonny boy. He called me Sonny boy. Sonny boy, go get me a Coke from the concession stand. I said, I can do that. So I bring it out, and he's quick-witted. He said, "Did you put a little something in it?" I said, "No, we ran out last game." No. So I said, "But it's a good luck Coke. Take it. You're going to win. It's good luck." So he puts it under his seat, and I go in with a couple minutes to go, and we wrestled. We either tied the game, but it's nick and tuck, and we win by 1. I remember that. No, we win by 1 point, and I go dab you up. I give you knuckles, and you said, "Hey, wait. You got to have this Coke. It's good luck." So I put it under my bench. Carbon copy of the women's game. We're down 5 or 6 at halftime. And we wrestle, and we get the lead, and we're up 5. There's about 20 seconds to go. We're up 5 points. And I used to pace somewhat. Mildred said, "Bob, sit down. You got this. Relax. Come sit by me." And in the old Tahlequah gym, the seats were really tight and compact. He said, "Come sit by me." Just as I sit down, they hit a 3 to cut it to 2. And he pushes me in the back. He said, "Hell, you better get up. You got more work to do." What a great friend to coach with, Coach Barton. Let me end with our players. You know, I will be forever grateful because we had good talent. But more than good talent, they let me in. The players let me in. They let me coach them. And I coached them hard. And Wayne and Willie will tell you that. We had hard, tough practices, and we demanded perfection. But I am most grateful for the players letting me coach them and believing in me. And I will be forever grateful you guys let me in. I always thought, going to every game, our guys were going to be tougher than your guys. Anytime we played, our guys were tougher than your guys. Let me end with this story. There's an art gallery in Germany, Dresden Art Gallery. It's one of the top in the world. And this old man is looking at this masterpiece, and he's saying, "Finally, I'm in my rightful place." And he looked again, and he murmurs, "Finally, I'm in my rightful place." And the patrons became annoyed because they knew this old scraggly man did not paint that masterpiece. So they went to the art director and they said, "You're going to have to ask this guy to leave. He's annoying." Art manager went up to him and said, "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." He said, "Why?" "Because you keep claiming you painted this masterpiece and we all know you did not." And he said, "You don't understand. I never claimed to paint the masterpiece. I built the frame." And that's how I feel. I worked with great administrative leadership. I was lucky to coach in this community. I was lucky to work with the faculty and staff I did. I was lucky to coach with my dear friends, and I was fortunate that I had players like I had. They were the masterpiece. I just became the frame. Thank you, Ride Rangers Ride.
Congratulations, Coach Battisti, and welcome to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. Guys, just another great day to be a Ranger. One of the things that I'll take away from this experience today, just like all the Hall of Fame luncheons before it, when we hear people come in and talk and think about being honored and being brought into the Hall of Fame, is the same thing that I get to do in my job. I talk to a lot of recruits, I talk to a lot of parents, and I always hear, often at times, you know, "Oh, my dad went to Northwestern, my mom, my grandma, my cousin, my brother." A lot of connections for the people that we talk to. And one of the things that always stands out to me, what truly defines Northwestern to me, is the difference between we they. You see, people can be gone from this campus for 20 years or longer. They can have been here for 2 years or 3. But the impact that this place makes on you, no matter if it's a career or just those couple of years, is that no matter how far away you get or how long you're gone, when people like this come back and people in this room come back, they never ask me, hey, the Rangers, how are they doing? They always say, how are we doing? And that's a big thing. And recruits love to hear that. Like I said, another great day to be a Ranger. There are 2 symbols that we present to each Hall of Fame inductee. The first is a beautiful handcrafted plaque representing our Ranger heritage with the outline of the horse and rider symbol. We want to offer our thanks to the longtime Ranger supporters, Dr. David and Emily Bowen, for their craftsmanship and their labor in producing these plaques. The inductees will be formally presented with their plaques at Percival Fieldhouse during their official induction ceremony. The other symbol is a one-of-a-kind, redesigned Hall of Fame watch, and we are pleased to present each inductee with these symbols of their induction. That will conclude our luncheon for today. All of you inductees, please stay up here at the front. They're going to take some pictures. We want to hand out the watches. Everybody, we are going to be making our way over to the gym to support the Lady Rangers and the Rangers today. And I look forward to seeing all of you over there to recognize our Hall of Fame members at the halftime of the women's game and to officially induct these 5 into the Ranger Sports Hall of Fame at halftime of the men's game. Current Hall of Famers, please remember to meet in the north end of the gym. We'll be introducing you at halftime. And then 2020 Hall of Famers, please meet Mr. John Allen at the south end of the gym at halftime of the men's game. 2 final announcements. Number 1, please, if you would, leave your name badges on the table. We want to collect those at the end of the event if we can. And number 2, the current Hall of Fame inductees again would come to the front now for some photos before going over to the gym. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us at the Sports Hall of Fame Luncheon, and ride, Rangers, ride.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hall of Fame Saturday here on the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University. This is one of the greatest days to be a Ranger as we get an opportunity to welcome new inductees into the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame and an opportunity to recognize and honor all of the current members of the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame who have made the trip back to Alva, Oklahoma to celebrate with us this afternoon. It is my great honor and privilege to introduce the current members of the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. As I call your name, please come out and take your seat among your brethren. From the class of 1993, Lloyd Stout. From the class of 1994, Stuart Arthurs. From the class of 1995, Paula Stout Crandall. From the Hall of Fame class of 2001, Jim Schrader. Representing the Hall of Fame class of 2004, Coach Milburn Barton. Two representatives from the Hall of Fame class of 2005. Please welcome Dr. Randy Smith. And also from that 2005 class, Mr. Reggie Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, we have several representatives of the 1999 National Championship football team here with us today, and they will join the Hall of Famers out at half court. Included in that group, Willie Spears, Matt Walter, Fred Slaughter. From the Hall of Fame class class of 2006, number 22, Dustin Miller. From the Hall of Fame class of 2008, Mr. Mike Perkins. Also representing the 2008 class, Mr. Willie Tennyson. From the class of 2012, Al Hunt. From the class of 2015, Fred Schamberg. The Northwestern Hall of Fame class of 2016 is happy to welcome back to campus Coach Joe Phillips. Also from the 2016 class, Dr. Steve Loman. From the class of 2017, Lee Brower. From the class of 2018, Dr. Chandler B. And from the Hall of Fame class of 2020, Coach Steve Gale. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a hand for your Ranger Hall of Famers. Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back to campus. It's our honor to have you here today. A Ranger, as we welcome two classes to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. Today we'll honor 5 amazing Ranger athletes with one of 2 incredible gifts. The first that will be handed out here at his presentation, a handcrafted plaque representing our Ranger heritage with the outline of the horse and rider, the official symbol of those joining the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. Like we mentioned, today is a special day because we'll induct both the classes from 2021 and the class from 2022. Our first inductee this afternoon played for the Rangers football team for 5 seasons from 1995 to 2001. He was a member of the 1999 National Championship team, playing both tight end and punter. He earned NAIA second team All-American honors as a part of the 99 National Championship team, where he caught Northwestern's first touchdown of the game. He led the team in receiving yards and was a captain for the Rangers that season. During his time, he played in all 44 games over 5 years. He was ranked 10th in reception yards, 4th in receiving touchdowns, 5th in yards per catch for his position as a tight end, and as a punter he was 4th in total punt yards and 9th in average yards per punt. Upon his graduation in 2001, he played tight end for the National Football League on 3 different teams, including the Jaguars, the Ravens, and the Raiders. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first inductee from the class of 2021, Brandon Christenson. Today escorted by his son, Tony. Brandon, welcome to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. Our next inductee from the class of 2021 took over the men's basketball program in 1986 and began what was a 21-year coaching career with the Rangers. His teams were known for their aggressiveness, hard work, and a tenacious defense. As a coach, he accumulated 374 wins as a Ranger and has a total of 469 collegiate wins in his basketball career. From 88 to 96, the Rangers successfully finished their season in the top 2 of the OIC, including 4 conference titles. The Rangers earned many honors under his leadership, including being ranked in the NAIA's top 25 7 times, earning 6 different conference titles, and in 2007, the Rangers made it to the quarterfinals of the national tournament. His best season at Northwestern was in 92 and 93, where the Rangers entered the national tournament with a 29-2 record, ranked number 2 overall in the national ranking. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame, Coach Bob Battisti! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Hall of Fame, Bob Battisti. Our next inductee will be the first from the class of 2022. As a Ranger from 1999 to 2001, he left his mark on the Northwestern baseball program, earning first-team all-conference honors in both his junior and senior seasons. He was named to the NAIA's first-team All-American as a senior. As a catcher, he led the nation in throwing out runners, cutting down an unprecedented 72% of those attempting to steal. He also pitched for the Rangers, where in the 2000 season, he had the 10th most saves in a single season. Today, he's set to the top 10 of many Ranger records. He ranks number 1 in RBIs, first in total doubles in a season at 22. He finished the 01 season hitting 9th in the category with 75 total hits, and he also ranked 6th in home runs in a season with 17. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2022, please welcome Hall of Famer Jewelson! Congratulations to Ranger baseball great and Hall of Famer Bill Jewelson! Our next inductee, representing the class of 2022, graduated from Northwestern in 1981 after 4 impressive seasons of Ranger baseball. He played second base and also pitched for the Rangers. During his tenure, he played in 183 games and totaled 584 at-bats. He finished his career batting .344, scored 56 runs, hit 37 doubles, 12 triples, and 19 home runs. He's set to the top 10 of multiple Ranger records as well, including total at-bats, games played, hits, RBIs, and doubles. He holds the record today for most triples hit in a career at 12 and continues to hold the record for most triples in a season at 7. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame, Dean Farrow! Ladies and gentlemen, baseball legend and now Hall of Famer, Dean Farrow! Our final inductee, representing the class of 2022, graduated from Northwestern in 2007 with a bachelor's degree in health and physical education. She continued her scholastic career, earning a master's degree in 2010. During her time on the Lady Rangers basketball team from 2005 to 2007, She set numerous school records. Her career scoring average at nearly 18 points a game, which is tied for the second most in Ranger history. She made 266 career free throws, placing her in the Northwestern top 10 for that category. She finished her career with 1,007 points and is one of only 13 Lady Rangers to join the 1,000-point club. Her major highlights of her career include scoring 38 points in a single game versus Wayland Baptist University and backing that up with a 37-point single game performance against Langston. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame, Brittany McBride! Congratulations, Brittany, and welcome to the Hall of Fame, Brittany Johnson! Let's have a round of applause for all of our inductees and the current members of the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame out to greet their counterparts as we celebrate athletic heritage here at Northwestern today with 5 tremendous additions to the highest honor Northwestern Athletics has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, your Hall of Fame!